Okay, chat, listen, guys. We're gonna do a tier list real quick. So, as you guys just saw, map voting is coming in Season 17 to Overwatch. And so, I would like to get ahead of the curve and start deciding with chat which maps would we either ban or not ban. Are you guys ready for this? Wait, let me, maps I am banning, or no, sorry, maps. Okay, wait, hold on. What should we say here? Maps I will be voting for. Maps I will not be voting for. Okay, so we're gonna do maps I will be voting for. Maps I will not be voting for. Just do banned and unbanned. Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, but you're not banning maps. You're voting for a map. You're not banning a map. That's the thing. I mean, I guess it's kind of similar. Poo-poo maps, good maps. I think this is good. Maps I will be voting for. Maps I will not be voting for. Is this good? Okay, let's start with some obvious ones here. First of all, can I, like, delete options? Because, like, why is Castillo here? Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Just won't put it there. Are you voting to ban or voting in favor for? In favor, that's what it is. It's not a banning. It's not a banning feature. Well, okay, maybe this graphic is... I think you're just voting which one you want to play. You're not voting for which one you don't want to play. That wouldn't make... Yeah, it's just the graphic is dog shit. It's map voting, not map banning. I don't really know why they put this graphic. So I imagine what'll happen is it will give you like two options, and you just pick which one you want to play, and whichever one has the most votes will be the one that's played. It's like CS2. You don't know what it's like. You vote which map you don't want and get one after voting. Sushi, you don't even know what it's like. What do you mean it's like CS2? No, how I think it has a stop sign. This is not an official fucking account. This is Overwatch Cavalry, Sushi. We're talking Overwatch Cavalry here. How about maps I will be voting to play? Maps I will not be voting to play. Maps I will be voting to play. Maps I will not be voting to play. Is this it? Maps I will be voting for. Maps I will be voting against. Yeah, I think this makes the most sense. This makes the most sense. Okay, here we go. Circa Royale, goodbye. It's gone. It's gone. I hate playing against snipers. I know Ash is a sniper. Circuit's gone. I hate that map so much. Gibraltar, gone. I will not be taking any questions. Gibraltar's gone. I hate playing dive-only maps. Dive-centric maps are so frustrating. Genji is too OP on these maps. Winston's OP. D.Va's OP. Get these dive maps out of my face. Half of the goddamn game, okay, especially in GMNA, like North American Grandmaster, half the game are one-trick Reinhardts and one-trick Roadhog players. Getting a Reinhardt or a Roadhog player on a dive map against a dive tank on the enemy team, it's like GG. It's like GG. I hate it. I hate it so much, bro. It literally feels awful. Okay, let's continue, shall we? Survivasa. I love Survivasa. I know we got a lot of Flashpoint haters in this community, in this chat. I'm a Survivasa enjoyer. This is a map that I see, and I will probably be voting for it because I actually enjoy playing it. Blizzard World, gone. Gone. I hate playing against an Ana and a Widow, playing in nowhere on the other side of the map, hard pocketing their tank, and you can't really contest their supports because they're on the high ground on the other side of the map. Point B. I'm specifically talking about Point B Blizzard World. Feels terrible. It just feels terrible. Point A and Point C are fine, I guess, but Point B is so poorly designed, and I can't believe they haven't reworked it yet. It needs adjustments. Kings Row, it's the fan favorite. There's very few people that I know that hate Kings Row. Kings Row's not as good in 5v5 than 6v6, but it's still a good map that I enjoy playing, and I get excited to play. Numbani, voting against. Even with the map reworks, it's still so dive-centric. It still feels terrible on attack if you don't have a dive tank, right? Like, if you have a Roadhog player on your team and a Rissa player, like I said, virtually any tank that isn't a dive tank, you know, Hazard and Ball and Doomfist and Winston and D.Va, like, if you don't play those tanks, I hate it. I hate it so much. This is like a 5v5 problem, though. I just need you guys to remember that. But it is the most popular mode. 5v5 ranked is the most popular mode, so you have to vote around it. Okay, Runasapi, I actually enjoy. I think Runasapi of all the push maps is up there as one of my favorite push maps. If there was an option, like if the vote was between 2 push maps, Runasapi's probably going to end up winning that one. I don't mind Runasapi. On the other hand, let's find us a push map that absolutely sucks. Let's let's move on to a bad push map. New Queen Street. See you later. See you later. I've never been a big New Queen Street fan. I feel like the spawn feels terribly far. It feels horrible getting back into the fight. It's really wide, really open, which kind of makes like Mercy DPS comps really annoying to play against. Like if you're playing against just like a turbo damage boosted DPS on this map, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna hurt really bad. I don't like this map, and so I won't be voting for it. Yeah, Coliseo is also gonna be one of those maps. I think it's fair to say that push in general is not a really fun game mode. Most people would agree with that. Coliseo, even with the glass removed, probably gonna be catching this vote against. Yeah, no, I mean, like, listen, I'm not gonna fight between worse of 2 evils. Both of them I'm not voting for. And if both of them are the votes, I will not be voting. You know what? I actually like Midtown. I think Midtown is a perfect balance between good for dive comp, good for brawl comps, good for poke comps. I like Midtown because it doesn't lean too heavily into any play style, and regardless of what hero you play, you can make it work. I don't think any specific hero is the reason why you're losing on Midtown. Every hero is pretty good on this map. Maybe aside from a couple like Reaper, you know, because it does have some longer sight lines. Maybe Reaper's really tough to play. Bastion is okay, I guess, on first point and third point. I don't know. I feel like Midtown is a really strong map, regardless of what hero you're on. It's a perfectly designed map. I have no complaints about it. We're gonna start getting into some debatable ones soon. Havana. I mean, we talked about it earlier today. We spoke about it earlier today. Havana, I will be voting against. I really dislike playing Havana. It oftentimes ends up just being like a third point stall. It's like the same storyline every single time. You dominate on first and second, and then you get hard stalled on third, and you lose. Just because it's so defense heavy on third point. It's terribly designed, that map. They've tried to like change certain elements on the map, but it still hasn't really actually changed anything. It's also really annoying to play against snipers on this map because it's so wide and long. And I would just rather avoid it. I'd rather avoid it, so I will not be voting for Havana. Dorado's a tough one. Dorado's a tough one. I love it and I hate it at the same time. Shoot. You see, this is why we're gonna start running into a couple of maps that I don't know. Once again, if the other team is just playing like the better comp, you're gonna feel it. It's not as fair. Like Midtown is fair. Kings Row is fair. Dorado is not really fair. I'm gonna put Dorado in maps I'm voting against. I'm not a big fan of Dorado. Oftentimes it can feel very snowbally. Or on the other hand, it can feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. You know, they've made they've made some decent changes to Dorado in the recent map reworks with the stairs, but even then, it still feels really hard to contest that second point high ground. You against the Diva on Dorado, and we have a Ryan GG. Yeah, you know what? Dorado's gonna be one of those maps I just don't really want to play. Okay, let's talk about some good maps that I like. Where is it? Route 66. I'll vote for Route 66. I think it's fair, regardless of what hero you're on. You can play Brawl, and you can hold up on those close chokes. You can play Dive, and you can control the high ground presence. You can play Poke. It's one of those maps that, once again, I think the best maps in the game are the maps that you can play multiple different heroes on and still manage to win. And Route 66 is one of them. You can run poke comps and set up on the height. You can play dive compositions to challenge it. You can play brawl compositions and roll card and play under the gas station, rotate up. You know, like there's so many different rotations on every single point that can win you the map. So I think Route 66 is a good example of good map design. Does everybody agree? Chat, type W or L if you like my list so far. W or L if you like the list so far. I think this is pretty solid. All right, let's continue. I like Busan. This one might be one of our first contradictory ones. I know some people don't like Busan. I kind of like that each and every single point is like a different play style. Like Mecha Base plays differently from Sanctuary, which is like the outdoor one, plays differently from the downtown. I think Busan is a fair map for multiple different compositions, right? But not on every single map, but on every single point it's different from the last, so it kind of breaks even in a way, right? Like it breaks even in the sense that, say you have let's say you have a I mean, no, honestly, I mean, regardless of what hero you play, you can make it work on this map. You literally can make it work on this map. I hate Widows on Busan. I mean, it's a control point map, but you hate Widow. I mean, I guess on downtown it can be challenging, but it's still easy to dive. You voted against Coseo. That's good enough for me. I like Busan, so I'm going to keep it here. And I also love the quirky little karaoke in Spawn, and the cow who shakes his ass. I think design-wise, it's fun. It's got little fun things. I mean, it's just a cool map. It's got little stuff that I like, so I will be voting for it. Oh, we got some. Okay, this is gonna be another debated one. Ilios is gone. Ilios, I will never be voting for. I hate the environmentals. I think the environmentals on the Lighthouse map and on Well make for a very, very uninteresting game. I think one-shots are boring, and that also includes boobs. Hot take. Hot take. Whether you're getting one-shot by a Widow across the map on Havana, or whether you're getting one-shot hooked into the Well and or, you know, booped off the map on Lighthouse, it's the exact same it's the exact same problem. It's the exact same problem. A boop into an environmental is the same bullshit as getting sniped across the map on Havana. It's a map-based issue, and that's an issue. That's why okay, it's fun for somebody like Frogger. Why do you think that is? Because of the environmentals. It's not fun for the person getting environmental. Is this like a horrible take? Is this a horrible take? I don't like being the person that's getting perma booped off the map when I'm just trying to play the objective. Dynamic maps are... No, hold on. Dynamic maps and Rivals is not what I'm talking about. No, okay? Being able to nuke the map on Rivals and flatten it out is not the dynamic maps that I'm talking about. I'm talking about every couple of minutes, it either closes or it opens. Similar to how on Mecha Base, you guys know Mecha Base, Busan, how the walls will go up sometimes and then they go down. It'll be the same concept, but with closing the well and opening it. So if it's open, you go for the plays. If it's closed, you have a little bit more freedom to play the objective. And I think that's like a fair way of doing it. How about you have to go down the well to get the objective like Mario? Anyways, this is just my personal take. I'm not a huge fan of Ilios, even though I know it's a fan favorite because it's pretty. It's a pretty map. Let's move on. I actually quite like Rialto. I think it's a fair map. I think you can brawl on it. I think you can poke on it. You can play like open angles, you know, wide angles. The bridge is very annoying. Don't get me wrong. I think I feel like the bridge is annoying, but once you do clear bridge, it's like a little more fair. But yeah, the bridge is frustrating. But I'm not like against it. I'm not against it. It's not, the bridge is not on the same level as like Havana, is how I feel about it. Do I hate the bridge? Yeah, I do, but I don't hate it as much as I hate like Havana third point, so I'm not gonna vote for it. Or I don't hate the bridge as much as I hate like Dorado second point. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? It's fine. If you have a good enough tank, the bridge isn't so bad. It's not so bad. Which bridge though? There's two. Oh, not the spawn bridge. I'm talking about second point. Like, you know, when you cap first point and there's like the long bridge with the huge open sight lines for snipers, that can be like a little frustrating. But if you have a good enough tank that actually clears the high ground properly, with like a Kirko that or something that can like TP across and like help your tank clear it, it's like it's manageable. Like, you can't do that on Havana. Okay, what you could do on Rialto to clear that high ground, you cannot do on Havana by any means. Funny how most of these maps were okay in Overwatch 1, but just so frustrating in Overwatch 2. Yeah, because of 5v5. Let's move on. Paricio, I will be voting against. I dislike this map. It is so shit for anybody that isn't a dive tank. Watching my tank try to like clear second point high ground only to realize that they cannot get across to the other high ground is so frustrating. I fucking hate this map. It is absolutely abysmal. It's so frustrating when you're like, oh, nice, I finally retook the high ground, but then you realize that your high ground is not as good as their high ground on second point, and you're like, oh, hold on, we're not moving objective either. It's like, oh, great, we retook it. But wait a second. They still have high ground advantage over the objectives, so somebody still needs to pressure point. If you don't have a tracer, like, moving cart, then you need, like, a support on cart, but then the support dies because their high ground's so much better. I hate it. I hate Paricio, dude. They just need to do a little bridge. There needs to be a little bridge from that second point high ground to the other high ground so that you can actually, like retake it, and then you can, like rotate to the other. There needs to be, like, something on that second point to make it, like, less miserable. It's so annoying. I hate Paricio. Okay, stop it. Okay, give me a break. Okay. We got some heavy hitters here. Okay, I'll do one that I like because I just did two that I don't like. I'll do Hollywood. I'm not a huge fan of Hollywood, but if you were to put it against any of these other ones, I'm probably voting for Hollywood. Is that a good take? Like, if you were to take Hollywood and you put it against literally any of these other maps, I will probably always take Hollywood over it. Although I don't like it as much as the others, but I'm not voting against it. Not like, oh my God, I need to not, oh, I don't want to vote for either. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I'll vote for it. Snipers aren't overpowered, but still really good. Yeah, like, you could still clear high ground. It's not too hard to clear high ground on Hollywood if your tank has a fucking brain. That's, like, all it comes down to. Does your tank have a brain? Because you just realistically just have to take the platforms and just, like, walk the plank. You know the way it's, like, almost impossible on Numbani to attack? I don't think it's on the same level. It's not like undoable. Either way, let's continue. I don't want to, like, stall for too long. I love Oasis. I think Oasis is such a fantastic map. I mean, I lose on it a good amount, but it's always a map I'm like, okay, let's move on. It's fine. It's like, I'm not losing because of the map. I'm losing because of my team, right? Like, when I lose Oasis, I'm not like, oh, I fucking hate this map. I actually really like the map. It's just like my team was born yesterday. So chat, I might send gifted because I'm bored. Seth, there is no better time to do that because we have two big sub goals. One being Tipsy Mario Kart at 50 subs. If we get to 50, I will be drinking and driving tomorrow on stream. Okay, so let's make sure to hit that because I just bought a Switch and I want to use it on stream, but we gotta get to 50 subs. And then at 100 subs, we'll be doing Unranked to GM on Overwatch 2 on the Switch 2. A massive content piece that might take a while, but it's going to be a fun journey. Okay, let's continue our little map thing because I want to post it on Twitter and have you guys gas it up. Okay, let's continue. These I'm not sure. Oh, bro. Okay. Oh, man. These are all going to be like, chat's going to hate me. Chat's going to hate me for this. I actually quite like Antarctic Peninsula. I do. I think the only people that hate this map are Mercy mains. I think this map is actually kind of fun. I think it's, like, fast-paced. It's fast-paced. It doesn't benefit, like, DPS just sitting in Narnia, just dominating the lobby. Like, you actually have to be engaged in the fight on every single point. Nobody can be slacking. It's like one of those maps that I actually enjoy playing because the better team usually wins. It's not really like a game where you can kind of just relax and take your foot off the gas. Okay, let's continue. Junkertown will not be voting for. I will not be voting for Junkertown. I can't. Dude, the amount of times that I just get held and I'm like, I want to freaking cry. I want to cry. I don't like Junkertown either. Junkertown is long. The game feels drawn out. It's rarely ever like you could still be the better team and the fights still take forever and they just whittle down time and they win on third point and then you lose. I'm not a big Junkertown fan. On the other hand, I'm gonna put Shambali in a map that I wouldn't mind voting for. I actually quite like Shambali. I feel like it's a good hybrid of poke and maybe dive isn't so good on this map. But it's a good hybrid of like brawl and poke where you could kind of run either or. You can run either like poke or you can run dive and you can still win the game. Or sorry, not dive, brawl. You can run brawl or you can run poke and you can usually play pretty well. But dive maybe not so good. It depends. Hello, Tipsy Mario Kart goal. We got it. Mods, you guys can update it. I just don't know what we can do a poll for whether we use the Switch 2 camera for the Unranked to GM. It could be funny. You know, it could be funny. We don't have to necessarily use it the entire time. We can kind of like go back and forth on it. I think it could be funny. The camera's so bad. Well, I think that's what the point would be. I think the point would be that the camera is silly bad. The stream's sponsored by Seth. Let's go, Seth. Okay. Let's continue though. Ike Involved. I don't like this map. I don't like this map. I don't like Ike Involved. Second point. Oh my god. If you have a shitty team, taking over that, like retaking that castle from the enemy team while also not ignoring the objective is like tough. Because you can spend like a minute retaking the castle, and even if you kill the entire enemy team, rotating back to the point and crawling it up to like the bridge, the other team is back and they're back on high ground. And then you get shit on anyways. Bro isn't cooking no more. What? Okay, so why do you disagree with this? No, riddle me this, chat. Why are you... Chat, why are y'all hating on Ike Involved being a bad map? Why? You guys are voting for Ike Involved? You see Ike Involved and you start freaking clapping your feet together? Rubbing your greedy belly? It's a shit map. God, I hate this map. God, I hate this map, but I love it. I love it, hate it. I don't consider myself a Lijiang enjoyer or a Lijiang hater. I don't like either of these. I don't like these maps, but I also I don't mind it. It's not like a map I'm like excited about. You know, I'll put it in maps I would vote for. Like if you were to give me Lijiang versus any of these other ones, I would probably pick Lijiang. Like if you, yeah, I like that. Like if you were to give me Lijiang versus Ike Involved, which one would you vote for? What do you want the sub goal to be updated to? We're gonna have to do a poll and see how chat feels about the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. That's why I haven't given you an answer, Coke, because I said we need to do a poll. I will run it. Nepal, I would vote for. Nepal's a good map. I'm not a huge fan of the indoor one. You know, the indoor one with the environmental around the point. I'm not a huge fan of it, but luckily I don't have to be on the point. You know, like that's what's nice about Nepal versus a map like Ilios. A map like Ilios, you kind of have to be invested on the point, whereas like Nepal, you can still have like a huge LOS on it while you're tank contestant. It's not terrible. I'm not a huge fan of the indoor one, but the other two maps are really good in my opinion. Samoa. I hate the magma one, but the other ones are fine. The other ones are pretty fine. I like Samoa. What do you guys think about that? I think Samoa is like, it's a good map. It's a good map. I don't think it's a bad map by any means. The magma one inside of the volcano is a little shitty, but it's not like shitty to the point where I hate playing it. So I'll put Samoa in maps I would vote for. Esperanza. It's fine. It's fine. It is push at the end of the day, so people are automatically gonna vote it out. But I don't want to just vote out a map because of the game mode. I want to vote out a map because the map is bad. Yeah, you see, I had a feeling. Anna and Hannah are both saying bye Esperanza because of the mode. But I don't want to vote out a map because of the mode. I want to vote out a map because it's a bad map. Because you can still win even though a game mode is uninteresting. Does that make sense? Like the problem with all of these maps under here is regardless of the game mode, the map design is what's keeping me from winning. Like straight up. Like straight up. Every single one of these maps, I lose because of map design. These maps, I can win. Esperanza, I can win. New Junk City's a tough one. I'm gonna vote against it. I do not mind New Junk City, but I'd rather not play it. I think like of the flashpoints, Survivasa is so much better. New Junk City is so bad. That's why I put it here. Well, it's not bad. I don't think it's a bad map. First point's okay. The only point that's like really bad in my opinion on New Junk City, I would say the worst. Actually, there's 2 points that I think are pretty bad. The first is that really open area one. You guys know the super open area one where there's kind of like that big, there's like bridges on both sides. One's kind of like a lower bridge. The other one's like the super high one. I really don't like that point very much. That one's not good. And then the other one that's really bad is the green. You know, the point that's like green. It's kind of like indoor. It's almost like, I don't know how to describe it other than the fact that it's green. I really don't like that point either. Because it's just so like suffocating. You just always feel like you're suffocating. Yeah, with the hole in the middle of the point. Yeah, that one I don't like. So I'll put New Junk City and maps I would vote against. It's not really fun on most of the, like, I would say like of the points, there's maybe 2 that I like. And then, yeah, every other one, I'm like, okay, I hate this. Do I want to vote on any of these other ones? Clash is not even in ranked anymore. Yeah, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Clash is not even in ranked anymore. It's in Stadium and you can't even vote in Stadium. So I think we're just gonna leave it at that. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that, but I want to post it on Twitter.